You're watching the Indiana Sports Network.
You are watching Rose-Hulman Women's Soccer on the Indiana Sports Network. This program is a copyrighted production of Indiana Sports Network and cannot be shown, reproduced, or redistributed in any way or in any form without prior written permission from Indiana Sports Network.
Welcome to Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, the U.S. News & World Report's #1 engineering school in the United States that offers a master's as its highest degree for 18 consecutive years. Rose-Hulman, where you come to find yourself. Find yourself through personal growth, through personal development, through study, research, and invention. Rose-Hulman, your home for academic and athletic excellence. You're watching College Sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
Welcome
if somebody's
to
kind of on the
Rose-Hulman
fence,
Institute of Technology. I'm Dustin Jorgensen, joined here by Troy Wilsine as we get set to cover the women's college soccer match between Rose-Hulman and Greenville. It's going to be an exciting match here today, Troy. Rose-Hulman, always a really good team. Coach Amy Hellowell always does a great job getting her girls prepared for the season, and usually a tough non-conference part of the year for them. I think they come into this game here against Greenville expecting to win the game. Maybe they beat them last year 3-0, and they're coming off of 2 losses. Rose-Hulman 0-2 for the season against 2 very tough competitors, against Webster and then Center College as well. Center College, I think, was ranked number 14 whenever they played them, and they lost 0-1. A very tough game. They played a lot of defense in that game and did a really good job. So, what do you think about this coming into this game?
Well, as you said, always a tough schedule preseason or pre-conference play for Rose, and same story this year. The center match was tough. We got 2 very defensive-minded teams here today. A little more pressure on Rose to come up with a victory, starting the year 0-2. They're picked 3rd in the conference this year. They're on track to have a pretty good run this season. But tonight's not going to be an easy one. Greenville's 1-1, coming off their first one of the year against Augustana, and this should be a pretty good show.
Yeah, it's exciting to watch Coach Amy and her teams. They usually are very well disciplined. You see a lot in the midfield. They really try to control the ball in the midfield and then kind of work it up slowly. They don't usually do a lot of direct play. They really stick to their game plan. They don't really change depending on the team that they're facing. They try to do the same thing typically in each game. Maybe a little bit different against Center College. I think a lot of that game they played defense primarily. That whole game kind of had 10 behind the ball about the whole time. So, if you're playing up to some competition, maybe that's the case. But having done that, they've really worked on their defense. They're kind of set now. They've had some really good, chances to really shore that up. And then they come out here today against Greenville. Maybe they're going to try to show what they have on offense, work on that a little bit tonight, and see if some of the things she's worked on in training she can apply here to the pitch and see if the girls can go out there and do it.
Yeah, I think you're right. As you mentioned, the center game was a little different. I mean, they were outshot in that game 24-4. It was a different tempo than what they're going to be playing most of the season. Hopefully it's a return to normal tonight. Really looking forward to seeing the Rose women for the first time here at home, and beautiful evening for soccer. So really excited for tonight's game.
Yeah, you talk about a beautiful evening for soccer. Also, we talk about this field. I think every time we've been here, I have to talk about the field. It's just an absolutely beautiful artificial turf field, and they have the wood chips in it instead of the rubber, so it kind of helps keep it a little bit more cool during these games, and sometimes that can make a big difference. And two, it's going to be interesting just to see, whenever you play on turf versus grass, it bounces a little bit different, and so depending on what Greenville's used to and where their games have been, coming into this, it might be a little bit different as far as the bounce goes, and kind of learning the first 10, 15 minutes of the game, kind of seeing how that's going to be and judging the ball a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're right. Greenville does play on natural grass, and could be a lot different. You don't really think about that a lot, but there's a lot of things to adapt to, but absolutely a beautiful arena here for both men's and women's soccer at Rose, and we're getting close to start time, so we better squeeze in a break. Huh?
Well, that sounds good to me. We'll be right back.
If somebody's kind of on the fence of going into a recruiting office or just reaching out to a recruiter, I would absolutely encourage it, if anything, just for the information.
We have a lot of enlistment bonuses out there right now, upwards to about $20,000. If you're in college or you plan to be to college, this is a great choice for you, because our organization, we look for students who want to go to college. We also have educational benefits where we pay up to 100% of tuition.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
You're watching College Sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
Welcome back here to Rose-Hulman. We want to make sure we thank our sponsors, Indiana Army National Guard, and then our pregame sponsor tonight's Culver's. We want to thank them. They're building a new site over on 41, so exciting. They're going to have 2 locations now in Terre Haute. And man, oh man, watching that commercial, it kind of made me hungry. I'd like to have one of those burgers. What do you think?
Yeah, the butter burgers, the frozen custard, I believe they have.
Yeah.
It's I'm looking forward to having one closer to home now.
They're crinkle fries.
They're
Get the hot crinkle fries, nice and salted. I mean,
it's right up there with the tots from Sonic, but we'll
I think they're a little bit better.
We
I
can
think the
argue about that
Culver's
later.
fries, spot on. They hit the spot. So, and they have cheese curds.
True.
So
that tips the scales.
Yeah.
Right there.
You
So,
probably, if you're Rose-Hulman in Greenville, you probably don't want to eat the cheese curds or the fries before you come out. Probably don't want to have a greasy butter burger before you play.
not on a hot evening, no.
Right. The food's delicious. We appreciate Culver's coming on board. They're a new sponsor here for Indiana Sports Network, so exciting to have them on board, and we enjoy that they have, multiple spots here in Terre Haute, so awesome to have them aboard. And so, we get into this. You talked about the shot difference early on here between Rose-Hulman whenever they played center. When they had that Webster game that they played, it was very even. They were evenly, it was 11 shots to 10, I think, is what I read in that game. And so one of the things with that, Rose-Hulman had the early lead in that game. They were leading 1-0, and then, Webster fought back and got 2 goals to kind of take that game, steal it, if you will. And so, a lot of times that's really tough for a team whenever you feel like you came out strong and then you end up losing that game. So, I'm sure then going into center, another tough match, not getting an opportunity to really show their firepower. You come into a game tonight, I think we need to expect Rose to come out firing and, try to get some goals early.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like you said earlier, I would expect the offense to be a little more active tonight. That's a tough way to start the year. First match, you kind of drop one that maybe you could have won, and then you go up against center, which is just a really difficult game. And tonight, again, you're looking for the return to normal. It should be a pretty hard-fought match. I would think Rose would be considered the favorite, but I would look for pretty kind of a slower tempo tonight and a methodical win from the Engineers. So
yeah, maybe they'll engineer a victory. What do you think?
Go.
Yeah,
throwing it out there early.
Well, we got to get it in at some point. Might as well just go ahead and get it out there. One of the things with Rose-Hulman, they had a couple of really good players who have graduated, aren't with them this season, but they've got several players who have returned who were, right at the top of the stat list. One of those, Lane Lawrence, she led the team in overall points. She had 7 goals and 10 assists last year, so, she's back with the Engineers this year. And then Sarah Shoemaker, I believe she's a grad student now. She's still on the team. She had 6 goals, 7 assists, so she also helped out. And then Kyra Hicks, you were talking about her pregame. She's 6'2". She's a fantastic forward. And I was talking about her, the way she plays, it's kind of deceiving. You would think with, a player who's that tall, maybe they hold up a little bit at the top of the box. They try to get in, use their head. But, man, she's not afraid to keep that ball at her feet and kind of take players on. She had 7 goals last season for the Engineers, 2 assists. So, a lot of firepower still available for the Engineers this season. You got 3 of their top 5 back, ready to go. So it'll be interesting to see if they just kind of come out and play direct early, or kind of what I would expect, what you said, maybe a slower tempo, especially with Coach Hellowell. She likes to slow things down, maybe have some build-up play and see what they can do.
Yeah, kind of feel out the match for a little while and see what the other team's trying to, accomplish. And, a couple other players to watch. Lauren Markart has Rose's only goal so far this year. Natalie Dillon, who's really done a pretty good job at keeper so far, 9 saves on the season. So pretty loaded roster here for the Engineers this season.
Yeah, Natalie Dillon, she's been a beast in goal every time we've watched her. She's a senior this year, so, exciting for her to come into her senior season and just really do a great job in goal. She always does a good job anyways, and then just to kind of have some of that firepower back maybe gives her a little more confidence that she can kind of settle into that goal and really trust the people in front of you.
Yeah, it's looking forward to it tonight. There's a lot of things early season that you kind of want to get a gauge on. And, should be a good show here. We probably ought to mention the rest of the sponsors, don't you think?
Go ahead.
I get to do it?
Yeah, you're good.
Special night. All right. Would like to thank, you already mentioned Culver's. You want to talk about them a little more?
I would really like a custard. If you want to skip out, I'll read the rest. Give me a custard. Well,
it's going to take a while, but
right back at it.
Farm Bureau Insurance, Great Dane, Hamilton Center, Lynn's Pharmacy with their famous soda fountain in Brazil, Riddell National Bank, and York Automotive, who provides the transportation. So we're able to come here and
Indiana National Guard, they're a presenting sponsor. They provided us with these cool shirts. Oh, there we go. Let's get to them in a shot there. Some merch from the Indiana Army National Guard. So we appreciate that. And it's exciting to have all these sponsors on board. We wouldn't have the program without them. So, again, we just want to thank them. And we want to go get some Culvers, I think. Did we mention that yet?
We'll take off. We'll let Tony call the first half.
Yeah,
how about that?
We'll let him come up here. That sounds good to me. We'll go ahead and do that. So
all right.
It looks like you see both teams kind of getting ready here on the sidelines, kind of talking it out just a little bit. We'll take one more break before we come back. The captains are talking, and then we'll get things underway.
So what do we do before we cross the street?
We look both ways for cars.
No cars. All right, let's go.
But Daddy, why do you have to hold my hand?
To keep you safe. That's why we look for cars. I'm watching out for danger to keep you safe.
Daddy, who watches out for you?
Protect your family and loved ones with Micah Bonomo.
There is a greatness inside of you, a passion, a strength, a determination. So embrace it. Embrace the greatness that you bring to everything you do. Embrace the idea that you can do work that makes an impact, work that keeps the country moving forward and our economy strong. Because not everyone has what you have, and that's exactly what connects you to all of us at Great Dane. There's greatness inside of you. Are you ready to embrace it?
You're watching College Sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
Welcome back to the Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology for tonight's matchup between the Greenville Panthers, who sit at 1-1 on the season, against the Fightin' Engineers, who are 0-2 so far. The Engineers, of course, led by Coach Hellowell, Amy Hellowell, on her 14th year as the leader of the Engineers. Greenville, coached by Jeff Wardlaw in his 11th season. Little bit about Greenville. They were the 2019 co-champions of their conference, which is the hard-to-pronounce SLEAC Conference, the St. Louis Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. So, of course, you know the long, rich history of Engineer soccer. Coach Hellowell, two-time HCAC Coach of the Year. Her husband, Sean, of course, the coach of the men, who came up with a victory tonight at Wabash.
I'm All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor for York Automotive. York is my #1 pick for your next car, truck, or SUV. Shop from over 600 vehicles at yorkautomotive.com today.
You're #1 at York.
The Fellowship of Christian Athletes has the mission of leading every coach and every athlete into a growing relationship with Jesus Christ and His church. Through camps and huddles, character coaches, and special events. We are making an impact in West Central Indiana. Check out where you can get involved at our website, wcindianafca.org. FCA, we are the heart and soul in sports.
We're the Browns, and this is our account. Our relationship with Riddell really began when we were kids, so when we started our business, it seemed like a natural fit for us.
Riddell's provided all of our financial needs for both personal and business, and we could not be happier with the level of service that we're provided.
Riddell National Bank has helped us grow our business so that we can help grow our communities with the core values that we both share. If you're looking to grow your business, Riddell is your best option.
You're watching College Sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
All right, welcome back here to Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology. You see the pregame action underway here. The girls giving fist bumps before they take the field. Again, we want to thank our sponsors, Indiana Army National Guard, and then our pregame sponsor. We're still in the pregame Culvers. Rose-Hulman women getting excited as they take the field. Going to keep that excitement going on the field. See what they can do early on here as we get set for kickoff. The officials sporting the wonderful blue jerseys tonight. I always enjoy when the officials wear the blue. I don't know why. I do.
Hey, if it tickles your fancy, it's fine with me.
That's what it is. I think that's it.
I like Greenville's jerseys over here. They're a little different. So got the
The
orange
white.
shorts and the kind of tiger stripe. You know, they're the Panthers, I guess. I shouldn't say tiger stripe.
Good try, though. You know, a big feline, a big cat.
There we go.
Either way.
They're all the same. Rose-Hulman, of course, in their classic black with red stripe.
All right, both teams getting ready to go here. Starting lineup for Rose-Hulman. Number 1, Natalie Dillon's in the goal. Number 2, Elsa King. Number 5, Camille Clark. Number 6, Megan Fodor. Number 7, Lane Lawrence. Number 10, Kiana Martin. 18, Sarah Shoemaker. 20, Carolina Snyder Perez. 21, Grace Hobson. 25, Kylie McKee. And 28, Jaden Gibson.
And your starting lineup for the Panthers, it looks like Addison Miller will be starting in goal. She does split time, so at least both games so far this year. She has split time with Carly Wagner, but Miller gets a start tonight. Number 2, Jordan Peebles. Number 3, Samantha De La Cruz. Number 7, Emma Cadwell. Number 9, Jen De Leon. Number 10, Allison Schultz. Number 12, Kira Coleman. 16, Vanessa Ramirez. 23, Alexis Romeo. Nia Long, and Nina Torvisco.
All right. Ball's underway here. Rose-Hulman with possession. Gibson early trying to find Camille Clark up that left wing.
Weather's a lot better tonight than the last time we were here.
Yeah, I think the last time we were bundled up, had some coats on. I'm pretty sure I was cold no matter what. Rose and Greenville fighting there on the in line, playing the ball back. Rose looking for the long switch. Sarah Shoemaker, the grad student, running on. Goalkeeper for Greenville just playing it short. Shoemaker not giving up on the play, winning it back for Rose. Out wide again. Lane Lawrence. Shoemaker wins it back. Playing to the corner. Lawrence gets the touch. Little foul there.
It's Alexis Romeo got a piece of her.
You know, and I don't mind that foul if I'm the coach for Greenville. You're trying to make something happen. You're going for the ball. If you get it, you get it. If not, it's going to be a corner kick either way. So, hey. A tricky little
by Miller.
Yeah, tricky little set piece there, just going short. Rose unable to get another foot on the ball. Like the idea. And the goalie here for Greenville playing short again. He's trying to build play out of the back. Rose playing pretty tight here early on. Greenville looking to drop the ball back. Switching play. Greenville just trying to keep possession, find something early here, build it up. Good settle there, Rose. Just trying to contain. Good 1-2. Gonna be a throw in here for Rose. Rose did a great job just being patient, containing there on defense, forcing Greenville to make a mistake, which they did. Now they win possession back. Lane Lawrence trying to make something happen. Camille Clark now. Nice cross in. Keeper able just to get down on that.
Yeah, Miller in her time at keeper so far this season hasn't given up a goal. All of the goals against Greenville have been scored against Carly Wagner. So pretty good start to the season for her as she's going to launch this one towards midfield.
Yeah, Shoemaker headed it back in. Rose now, number 2, Elsa King on the ball. Plays it out wide, almost got the through ball to Shoemaker. The edge of the 18, mistake there by the keeper. Greenville able to collect. Fodor just trying to head the ball back in. Lawrence wins possession back. Clark finding Shoemaker, top of the 18. Played out wide. Just drops it back. Cross coming in from number 25, McKee. And the head from Camille Clark just out for a goal kick. Rose-Hulman way up on offense early on here, the first few minutes. And look how far Natalie Dillon is out in goal. She's sitting between the 18 and the midline. She's way up. She's trusting her offense is going to stay up there.
I think you were right before the match. We're seeing a little bit more attack from Rose so far in this one.
Yeah, Rose now looking to just play the ball across. Dillon still top of the 18 there. Shoemaker just drives right at the defense. Lawrence now flicks it to herself, unable to get through. And the goalie just pushing her team up here for Greenville, taking her time. Great kick there. Past the midline, Greenville now over the top. Trying to make something happen out wide. Oh. A little physical play by Carolina Snyder-Perez for the Engineers. Greenville opportunity here. Great little run in. Just goes out. Gonna be a Rose goal kick.
Kira Coleman just gave it a little much on that pass through the box. And first time we've seen Greenville get down to this end of the field as the Rose defense has been pretty stout so far.
Yeah, Rose doing a great job just keeping the pressure in their attacking third. Out wide now, Jaden Gibson out there, playing it through Martin. See Clark now on that left side. Looking for the cross. Greenville just steps in. It's going to be a corner kick here for Rose. Rose looked dangerous with that first set piece. We'll see what happens here on the corner kick. Looks like Lane Lawrence is the corner taker. Ball comes in all the way through. Going to be another corner kick, it looks like. Must have touched a Greenville player. McKee playing it in. Greenville collects the ball. See what happens here. Through ball. Just too much. She can get there. She was going to give up on it, then she got there. Greenville trying to make something happen. They cross in. Megan Fodor able to get something on to Dillon collects.
That was Jen De Leon, which that's the last time I'm going to say that twice. So we're just going to call her Miss De Leon from the rest of the night.
I believe you have to say the entire name the whole night. Pretty sure your pay depends on that.
No, doesn't now. Yeah. She did score the only goal in the win over Augustana on a penalty kick.
That was a good kick there by the Rose keeper. Greenville does collect. King just trying to force Greenville into a mistake. Greenville able to maintain possession. Shoemaker comes in, able to disrupt play, wins the ball back. Martin unable to keep it. Greenville here, just the last couple minutes, have had a little more offensive possession. Oh, that's a dangerous place for a foul here for Rose-Hulman. That was Megan Fodor. Reached in, unable to get the ball, and just right outside the 18.
I believe that's De Leon down.
Getting up now, looks like she's ready to go.
She's been a little tender on that left leg so far in this match. You mentioned as she was chasing one down there a minute ago, she kind of hesitated a bit, but have to see if she's all right.
Looks like she's ready to go, shaking it off. Looks like Rose has 4 in the wall. Great opportunity here for Greenville. See if she's going to take it direct. Shot low, just trying to go under the wall. Nothing happening there. Dillon collects that. And I see those right outside the 18. I just want to go out there and take it. Every time, Troy, I want to go out there and take it. You're going to have to hold me back.
You can do what you want, man. I'm not stopping you.
I don't think the Indiana Army National Guard would appreciate me running out there in their shirt representing them.
Well, that's true. It's good exposure, but I guess it's bad exposure.
Well,
so.
you know. I think all publicity is good publicity, right?
Right.
Isn't that?
As long as you carry a Culver's cup with you.
Ah, there we go. We got it. I will also yell Tony Harper's name while doing it.
I would like to broadcast future games, so let's save that for another evening.
All right. Rose-Hulman with the throw. McKee over the top. Greenville plays it down. Shoemaker trying to keep it. McKee just plays it in again. Lawrence. Fodor coming up for Rose. Falls to Perez. Big step by Fodor. Greenville just steps away. Ooh. Fodor, tough play there defensively. Both players just collided going for the ball. No foul. Looked like it hurt. Ball played out.
Leon's down again. She caught one in the midsection that time. That one did hurt.
Just knocked the wind out there. Catch her breath.
She's had a pretty rough go of it here so far.
I think we both kind of gasped when that one happened. You could hear it up here in the booth.
Yeah,
it was certainly both players going for the ball, nothing doing, but
you don't like hearing a crunch noise when two people come together.
No, that definitely not feeling good.
Emma Cadwell's done a really good job so far, kind of commanding the middle of the field for Greenville. But Rose, they're keeping the pressure on, man, so far. It's been a pretty good show.
Yeah, Martin possession. Yeah, you know, that's one of the things here about these early season games, you know, for all teams, anything that's non-conference, you can play a little bit with your lineup. You know, Rose-Hulman, my goodness, their roster sheet, they've got a lot of players, so they can rotate players in, kind of try somebody in a different position, try something out, see what works, and then, you know, build on that for the next game. So early season here, it's kind of nice to be able to do that, see what you've got, and prepare for your conference games when it really matters and you really put all you've got out there. Greenville looking over here on this left side. Lane Lawrence goes in strong with the challenge. Going to be a Greenville throw. And Greenville playing that back in. Shoemaker trying to find Clark through. And Indiana Sports Network is proud to be broadcasting Rose-Hulman Athletics. This is the first game of the season here at Rose-Hulman that Indiana Sports Network is covering of 46 games. So very impressive and excited to be a part of that. Going to be here a lot this season.
Yeah, between the women's soccer, men's soccer, football, basketball, I mean, we're all over the place over here.
Greenville trying to make something happen. Rose just kind of kicked it all the way through. Going to go out for a goal kick.
You seen the new scoreboard over there yet at the football field?
I have not. Does it have your face on it?
It doesn't. It may at some point, but you can come check it out this Saturday as Rose has their first home game against Trine.
Is it like full electronic?
It is.
Yeah, it's got some.
Got a video board on there.
Oh, man. Big digital board with some video. That's awesome.
Yeah, during the home football games, we'll actually have our feed from the Indiana Sports Network up there, so it'll be entertaining for all in attendance,
I'd say. Going next level here. Sounds like as well, not only do they have the video board, but their audio system is going to allow you to hear the officials when they're making the calls for penalties and such at the football game, so cool stuff to have. And Fodor just trying to clean up here for Rose-Hulman. Drives forward, finds Lawrence, just hits it ahead to Clark. Oh, goalie comes out, able to knock it. Boy, that took an odd bounce too, had some spin on it. Lawrence trying to catch the keeper out, crosses, and goalie does a great job settling down, getting back, collecting the ball.
Addison Miller, just a sophomore. She's from Alton, Illinois. As we said earlier, she splits time with Carly Wagner as the keeper for the Panthers.
And ball goes out to McKee. Oh, good ball all the way through. Almost found Clark. Gibson tried to clean up as well. And it's going to be Clark trying to turn in the corner for Rose. Just going to go out. Looks like it's going to be a corner for Rose-Hulman. It's really interesting to see how high Natalie Dillon plays for Rose-Hulman in the goal, man. Whenever they're up pressing, you know, like this corner kick right now, she's almost at the center circle at the back end of it. Ball just clips away. It goes in. That was number 10, Kiana Martin for Rose-Hulman. Just kind of congested there in the 18. The goalie tried to get her hand on it. Wasn't able to do it and just falls to Martin. Right place, right time. Back of the net. Good golly, it's a goal, Troy.
Yeah, that one kind of fell right in front of her, and she was able to punch it through. That was a good start for Rose. They've had a lot of pressure offensively so far, and it finally pays off.
McKee just settles it down. Back to Dillon. 15 minutes in, Rose-Hulman leading 1-0 now. It's really been pretty evenly matched. Rose-Hulman has looked to be a little bit better, just slightly, but Greenville's coming out. They're playing today. Wow, a great through ball there. Turns around, looking for the run. trying to do something, keeps it at her feet, looks for the left-footed shot.
Wow.
Dillon, what a stretch for Natalie Dillon. Wow. Great save.
Trying to get the number on who shot that. It's kind of hard to see their numbers on there.
Yeah, you like the way the jerseys look with that white and orange, but the orange outline with a white number is a little bit hard to see.
The good thing about being a broadcaster is I can change my mind at any time, and people have to listen to me. So,
yeah, there is a mute button, so I don't know that they have to. Greenville here with the corner. All the way through. Greenville looking to clean that up. Plays in. Ball played out. Clark. And there's Shoemaker now. And McKee plays it up the line, trying to find Clark over the top. Goalie for Greenville presenting herself. There gets the drop, just plays it out. Safe play there. When in doubt, boot it out.
Haven't seen Greenville play yet this year, but judging by their numbers, they don't get a lot of shots each match. It's, averaging about 5 shots on goal per game, so every opportunity is a big one for the Panthers, and Rose was able to survive that one. A great save.
Yeah, an excellent save, and then too, what you saw with Greenville, they were trying to get in closer through the 18, just unable to make it happen, and so they took the shot right outside 18, left foot, and man, it was close. Kiana Martin tried to take one on the volley, and it's just going to go out for a goal kick.
Rose leads the all-time series with Greenville 12-3-2. There's 7-1-1 here at home.
Who told you that?
I did my research.
Good job.
Thank you. Means a lot.
Lane Lawrence plays it to Shoemaker. What a great play. Shoemaker looking for the cross. Right at the top of the 6. Goalie comes out. Good job there by the goalie. She was trying to find somebody making that counter run. Wasn't happening. Just slows thing down. Pushes her defense up. Pushes everybody up. Greenville with the first touch. Unfortunately goes to the Rose-Hulman feet. Rose-Hulman now. Great ball again out to Shoemaker. Shoemaker just tries to cross it in. It's going to maybe stays in this time. Thought it was going to go out for a corner. Rose-Hulman doing a great job playing through Shoemaker here. Kind of the right side, center to the right side. Grad student captain. She's been a part of Rose-Hulman teams here for several years now. A great job. Martin trying to go for the header, not happening. King, Lawrence over the top to Clark. See Gibson making that run. Greenville collects. Little touch to the outside. Rose has only got 3 back, but they're able to collect. Good pressure there by Lawrence. Back line a little bit slow getting rid of the ball, and Rose pressuring. Greenville able to keep possession now, playing it out wide. Good ball through. Trying to chase it down, keeps it in. Plays it off the Rose player, goes out for a throw-in for Greenville.
Let Daly own a little too much on that one. Samantha De La Cruz has played really well. She looks good for Greenville. A couple big stops on the defensive end.
Lane Lawrence goes back and wins the ball for Rose-Hulman. Rose now on the counter. See Clark. You got Shoemaker here on this right side making the run. Clark doing it herself. Finds her with the through ball. Shoemaker chasing it down just at the end line. Tried to find Martin. Greenville does a good job stepping in front. Little Meg on the side, through ball, trying to find De Leon. Lawrence trying to make the turn, not happening. McKee here with the throw. Greenville keeps it in. Played out wide to Carolina Snyder-Perez. Back to King. Good play, both players there, just standing the ball up. McKee. Lawrence with the turn, gonna find Shoemaker for the through ball. Shoemaker tried to cross it to Clark. Goalie comes out. Great stop again on the rebound. Greenville on the line, defensive stop.
Couple good saves by Miller.
My, oh my, Rose-Hulman looked like they were going to score, had a couple of opportunities. Shoemaker did a great job just trying to play that over to Clark. Goalie did a great job with the save. Lawrence trying to clean it up. Goalie again with the save. Defense stood tall on the line. They saved it a couple of times. Just a all in all great sequence of play. Rose-Hulman with the corner. Got Gibson taking it this time. Right at the top of the 6. Goalie comes out and gets it. Notice the goalie didn't come out aggressively. Kind of stepped back when she made that decision to be on the line. Able to collect when the ball does come off the head.
She's trying to back Rose out a little bit. It was getting pretty intense down there.
Great punt over the top there. Rose able to collect. Out wide to McKee. Over the top to Clark. Goalie standing tall at the top of the 18. Clark, great little move with her feet. Left foot, back of the net.
That's the second or third time we've seen Miller kind of charge up in a one-on-one situation. It's worked out for her the first couple times, but boy, she got beat on that one, and Rose up 2-0.
Yeah, that was a close call. You see the Greenville coach asking red offsides if it was close there on that one. And then you saw the Greenville keeper, man. She was just camped at the top of the 18, waiting, trying to disrupt, trying to be as big as she could to stop something, and Clark just intelligent play. Just a little tap to the left and left-footed shot. There she is. Kind of saw Greenville there, 10 minutes into the game, start to make some offensive moves, and worked for 5 or 6 minutes, and now Rose-Hulman again back in control, just keeping possession, doing a great job.
Another thing you got to think about early season, is the kind of the fitness of the clubs. Starting to notice Greenville slowing down just a little bit here and there. Few of the players just kind of walking around, and Rose, boy, they have really outpaced Greenville so far.
McKee just trying to control the ball. Right on cue, we've got some substitutions getting ready to come in here for Greenville.
Looks like coming in for Greenville will be number 11, Kellen Price, freshman from Huntington Beach, California. And also number 14, Italy Valenzuela, another freshman from San Elizario, Texas. As De Leon will get a break, along with number 26, Mia Long, coming out. A lot of freshmen on this team.
Greenville, you see number 12 making that run of the corner, calling for it, but Nothing happening. Good play. Greenville not giving up. Rose, good job just staying with it. Carolina Snyder-Perez played it out. Well, Rose does a great job just kind of staying compact. The space between their top line and their forwards and their back line stays about the same regardless of where they're at on the field. They just kind of move together as a unit all the way up and all the way back together.
Doing a great job at disrupting almost every pass down here on this end for Greenville. Hard to get a clean look at anything for the Panthers so far.
Greenville unable to make anything happen. Rose wins possession back quickly. Clark and Lawrence on the ball now, staying with it. Clark comes out with it. Just doing it herself, keeping possession. McKee calling for the switch of play. There it is now. See Shoemaker making this run over here on the right side. McKee drives central, tries to find Lawrence. Fodor trying to win the ball, stays with it. Plays it back to McKee. Over the top. Clark making the run, not able to get there. Seen that several times from Rose where they've just played over the top from their back line. McKee and Fodor both a couple of times playing that long direct ball over the top. They've really done a great job, you know, playing possession and trying to build play up, but when that's not working, they're playing direct, kind of disrupt things, keep the defense on their toes. Substitutions for Rose-Hulman, several players coming in. Looks like number 3, Lauren Marquardt, the goal scorer that you mentioned from an earlier game. 24, I believe that's Caroline House. Number 8, Alicia Rodriguez. And I believe I saw Kyra Hicks coming onto the field. There she is now, number 32.
Rose has done a really good job controlling this first half as far as the tempo goes. It's a little quicker than I thought it would be, but boy, it's been effective.
Greenville trying to make something happen. Good through ball there, just no one making the run. Dillon comes all the way out. Just keeps it now. Slows things down, plays it back out wide. Marquardt with the ball at her feet. Try to play it back to Hobson. Greenville wins possession. Greenville plays it out wide. Rodriguez. Good defense there by Rose. Good little ball in for Greenville. Fodor thought about waiting on Dillon to collect and then just decided to get it out of there, do what was safe. Ball off of Rodriguez. You all right, Troy?
I'm good.
Greenville plays the ball in. Hobson hits it out. King plays the ball over. Rodriguez settles. There's House to Hicks. Back to Rodriguez. Over the top to Clark. Offsides this time. That was
just had a step on her.
Yeah, great little sequence of play here in the middle to see that kind of just the nice quick touches there between Rodriguez, House, Hicks, and then boom over the top trying to find Clark. Unfortunately for Clark, she was offsides, but man, that was fun to watch.
Yeah, Rose looks pretty precise with everything so far today. Their passes are nice and crisp, and as you said, great ball movement. I mean, they've been pretty on the mark so far.
Hicks, excellent job. Just tried to play it on Rodriguez. Greenville plays it out. Be a Rose-Hulman throw.
Still 4 more matchups before conference play for the Rose ladies after today. So they're going to get a nice stretch of games here to kind of get things in order before the HCAC begins, where, as we mentioned earlier, they're projected to be 3rd, but, you know, that could easily turn on a dime. So a couple more subs for Greenville. Number 5, Sophie Laughlin, a senior from Mount Vernon, Illinois, comes in as Emma Cadwell comes out.
And Greenville trying to make something happen, playing over the top. Dillon's calling for it there atop the 18. And the punt just about to halfway. Hicks trying to win it. Heads it to Clark. See Marquardt trying to run onto it. Clark in possession now. Through ball. There's Rodriguez. Tried to get to her right foot. Stays up. Shingard goes flying.
I think the turf monster got her. It's into the match for Greenville. Comes number 4, Alexis Roberts, a junior from Kenneth City, Florida. She's going to take the place of number 27, Nina Tarvisco.
And for Rose-Hulman, Brianna Camaro-Sulak comes in. Saw Camille Clark, one of the goal scorers, come out. And in the earlier substitutions, it looks like number 10, Kiana Martin, also came out for Rose-Hulman. So both goal scorers getting a rest here in the first half. House plays it back. Hobson wide to Fodor, just playing it around now. There's McKee. Greenville intercepts. Through ball. Tried to play it back. The 1-2, unable to do it. Hicks now wins possession. Keeps it. Keeps it herself. Looks there. There's 22. Ball played out wide. Greenville trying to make something happen. Fodor steps in front. Rose plays it out wide. And offside. You're the Rose player, you just say, doggone it, I thought I had that run, and unfortunately, you're offsides.
Just a step ahead there again, but pretty impressed with Rose so far. They look almost a mid-season form, I would say. They're really on the mark, as we mentioned, and Greenville just looking a little sluggish at the moment.
Do you think the Greenville keeper got the green jersey just to match Greenville?
It's possible.
Am I reading into that too much?
It might be a little too in-depth. I don't know. It's It's a little too on the nose, I think. Is that what they say?
I'm not sure what they say. Who's they?
I don't know.
Okay.
They say a lot of things, and sometimes they're right and sometimes they're wrong.
Greenville playing it down the line. Oh, great ball there. Greenville here with an opportunity. Rose has about 5 back. Only a couple for Greenville, trying to force something. Great attempt by Greenville. Caroline House just stands up, wins the ball back. Nice little play to Hicks. Oh, good little turn there by Hicks. Everybody's cheering for that one. Rodriguez out wide. The goalie comes way out.
Boy, Miller's not afraid to attack.
They're giving a card. I think it's against, I'm not sure. Is it against the Greenville keeper, or is it against the Rose-Hulman player?
I'm not
think
sure.
it was for number 8, Alicia Rodriguez for Rose-Hulman. Not sure. I agree with that.
Yeah,
I think they were both doing fair play.
Little
Goalie comes out
there.
that far. It's, kind of her own fault. I'm all for it. I like aggressive goalie play, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it deserves a card just because the offensive player's playing hard. House steps in front. Caroline House is playing great. Just right there in that midfield, playing defensively. I think it's a foul called on her that time, but hey, again, I like the physical play. I'm gonna cheer for that all night.
We haven't seen too much so far, really, and now Rose is stepping it up. They're trying to make you happy, Dustin.
That's exactly what's going on. I think, as you mentioned too, fitness level, you get to 8 minutes left and legs start to get tired. It's a little easier to kind of lower a shoulder or throw a hip in there.
Yeah, I've seen a couple tugs at the jerseys as they're going downfield lately.
Some good footwork by both teams. Little turnarounds with the ball. There you go, a little flick to herself. Kyra Hicks doing it as well. Like I said earlier, she's so great with the ball at her feet. She is not afraid to do that. Plays it out wide. Sulak unable to find Hicks at the top of the 18.
Boy, anytime Greenville gets down on their end, I mean, Rose is really aggressive on defense down there. As you mentioned, a little bit physical, but, I mean, just in your face all the time.
Yeah, and a lot of that, I think, too, comes from the way Rose just so methodically, everyone moves together. So you see the midfield players coming back as well. They're getting involved in the defense, and so they're just closing down space. They typically have, it looks like 7 or 8 players on defense because they're moving, behind the ball pretty much the whole time. See, Greenville wins the ball there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players on Rose behind the ball. So it's, 4 on 7 for Greenville. Rose-Hulman going to eat that up all day.
As we mentioned in the pregame show, I mean, Rose has always been pretty defensive-minded under Coach Hallowell, but, I mean, you're seeing a good example of it tonight, and, it's paid off more than it hasn't. So she must be doing something right, What is it, 14 years now here, I think?
Been the coach here for a long time, and I believe it is your 14th year at Rose-Hulman. And when you're the coach for that long, you can really establish that culture that you want at an institution, and she has certainly done that here at Rose. You can really identify a Hallowell team based on their, a lot of times just not just intelligent, but well-disciplined. Number 11, Ella Johnson, coming on for Rose-Hulman.
Nicole Garzaro, a sophomore from Guatemala, comes into the game for Greenville in place of number 12, Kara Coleman, who's played pretty well so far.
A lot of rotation here for Rose-Hulman in this first half. Had 6 substitutions. fresh legs and giving everybody a chance here. A lot of familiar faces as well coming off the bench for Rose that have been playmakers in previous seasons.
Yeah, I just noticed that a little bit ago. It's a pretty young Greenville team compared to Rose, who's got a lot of experience, and you wonder if that's playing into this. You know, the juniors, the seniors, they've been down this road a time or two, and starting a new season, you know, they know what to expect, how to prepare.
And Snyder-Perez trying to keep possession. And that was Marcourt on the ball. See Johnson calling for it, unable to keep possession. Greenville driving in. Yeah, great play there on both teams.
Just a swarm of black when they get down there.
Hard fought for the ball. Rodriguez just wins it back. Hicks making that run. Great job stepping in, disrupting play. Gonna be a Greenville throw. Headed on, nobody there. See, that's several times Greenville have had some great touches, you know, some balls played on, through balls, and then there's nobody there. So they do a good job getting the ball into a dangerous position. They just aren't having the players making the runs to follow up.
Yeah, there's not a lot of execution down there.
Everybody's calling for the hand. The center official looking over to his AR, trying to get the call. Tough position for him. Their backs to him. I'm going to give a shout out to the officials while we're here. I mean, not only do I just absolutely love their blue shirts. I mean, come on.
We're going to have to get you one of those.
I would take one. But also, I mean, officials of the game, they have a thankless job. You know, they do a great job. Handball there, call. They do the best they can. Everybody's human. You know, it's important to remember that without the officials, we don't have the beautiful game. We don't have sport. So always make sure to thank your officials. Be respectful. Even if you disagree with a call, be respectful.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit at a football game a couple weeks ago, how kind of underappreciated they are when they're, you know, doing a good job. You know, you only see the bad parts of it a lot of times. And overall, I mean, especially here at Rose, any college across the country, you know, it's a 95%er. They're doing a really good job, but not enough appreciation for sure.
You see a lot of familiar faces on the, whenever you're coaching games or going to games, a lot of the same officials covering games, and it's nice that, you know, see them kind of doing it all and that they're committed to the sport as well. It's certainly not how they make a living, but they're out there because they love the game. Greenville now playing the ball up. Rose steps in. There's Caroline House again defensively. Disrupts play. Greenville gets it back. See all of Rose's players come back. Dillon steps up. Ball played over the top.
And I will also say, when you get an official that has a mustache like this guy on the far line, that makes it even better.
Yeah, it's pretty sporty.
It's
1 minute left in the half.
And we got just 1 minute left here in this first half. Rose trying to add a third here before halftime. You ever grown a good mustache? Talking about mustaches?
No, that's never gone very well. I can do the beard. Now it's salt and pepper these days, but the mustache has never really been in my book of tricks there. So sideburns, I can do sideburns.
I've seen you with some killer sideburns, I will say. I'm sure I have some pictures.
Oh, we don't need to bring that up.
Greenville playing the ball through. Excellent ball there. Greenville making the cross.
I miss your handlebar mustache.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, what happened to that?
I've done it once or twice. 6, 5, 4. And the first half's going to come to an end here at Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, where the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers are leading the Greenville Panthers 2-0.
If somebody's kind of on the fence of going into a recruiting office or just reaching out to a recruiter, I would absolutely encourage it, if anything, just for the information.
We have a lot of enlistment bonuses out there right now, upwards to about $20,000. If you're in college or you plan to be to college, this is a great choice for you because our organization, we look for students who want to go to college. We also have educational benefits where we pay up to 100% of tuition.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
So what do we do before we cross the street?
We look both ways for cars.
No cars. All right, let's go.
But Daddy, why do you have to hold my hand?
To keep you safe. That's why we look for cars. I'm watching out for danger. To keep you safe.
Daddy, who watches out for you?
Protect your family and loved ones with Micah Bonomo.
You're watching College Sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard. It's time for the halftime report on the Indiana Sports Network.
All right, welcome to halftime here of the Rose-Hulman Greenville game. Rose-Hulman leading 2-0 here at halftime. A great first half for the Engineers. Greenville, I think they're a little better than maybe the scoreboard shows for that 2-0. They pretty even shots-wise. Rose-Hulman's got 5 shots. Greenville has 3. I would say Greenville looked pretty dangerous multiple times. Definitely, we talked about there were some runs that Greenville was making that maybe the ball didn't quite get there. There maybe the pass was made, the give and go was there, and then all of a sudden, it kind of broke down and there wasn't somebody on the end of that, so it didn't quite work out the way they wanted. But overall, I thought they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, just a lack of execution a little bit down here. The first shot they had, a great save by Rose, but, I thought that one was going for a minute. But, as you said, it's a pretty well-contested game. I feel like Greenville's wearing down just a little bit more than Rose is, just the way they came off the field at halftime. Rose is high-fiving, and, they're pretty fired up, and Greenville comes off and just kind of,
Well, they're leading 2-0.
Well,
you're high-fiving, of course, you're leading.
All right, well, forget what I said.
I do like what you said.
No,
Natalie Dillon's save, fantastic. You talked about that. I thought, when Greenville hit that left-footed shot, it looked like it was hitting bottom corner, and Dillon, man, she stretched. She's only 5'2", but daggone, man, she was playing like she was, 6 foot tall. Yeah. She really reached out there and got to it. So very impressed with that play.
You don't see many keepers that are fun to watch, but once you mentioned it, she's all over the place. When they're down here on offense, you're right, she's darn near to midfield sometimes. But this, you bring up a lot of good points, Dustin. That's what I'm trying to say. You will start watching them move as a unit like they were, and boy, it's pretty impressive. And you chalk that up to Coach Hellowell. And
there is a greatness inside of you.
It's been fun to watch, and looking forward to more of it in the second half.
Yeah, it's Coach Hellowell, we always talk about, has a very well-disciplined team, and I think that's what we've seen a lot of, when they're moving back and forth. That space between the back line and those forwards, it just stays consistent regardless of where Rose is at on the field. So, also great offense by Rose-Hulman. Kiana Martin got that one goal that was kind of from the corner. It went in there. There was a save. It kind of bounced around, and boom, she was right place, right time, knocked it home. And then Camille Clark, that was a good one, just over the top ball. And then the keeper was way out, came out to the 18 trying to make something happen, and she just, very intelligent play. Left
great
foot,
footwork
boom.
on that one. Just a little tap to the left and wide open shot.
Yeah.
But Pretty impressive showing so far for the Fighting Engineers, and we'll see if they can keep it up and maybe get their first win of the season here tonight.
I think it's time for us to take a Culver's Butter Burger break.
That's all I can think about right now.
All right, let's get a burger. Did you have it yet?
I haven't had it.
Oh, yeah, I thought somebody was
bringing
it. I was waiting
delivering.
around.
There is a greatness inside of you, a passion, a strength, a determination. So embrace it. Embrace the greatness that you bring to everything you do. Embrace the idea that you can do work that makes an impact, work that keeps the country moving forward and our economy strong. Because not everyone has what you have, and that's exactly what connects you to all of us at Great Dane. There's greatness inside of you. Are you ready to embrace it?
Treatment for those with mental illnesses and addiction issues has evolved over the years.
In the late 1960s, Indiana's mental health system began to take shape.
From 1971
to 2021, Hamilton Center has touched the lives of thousands of people in central and west central Indiana.
We are committed to the latest therapies to improve the quality of life for those with mental illnesses.
Treatment works.
Recovery is possible.
And thank you, Indiana.
This program is a copyrighted production of Indiana Sports Network and cannot be shown, reproduced, or redistributed in any way or in any form without prior written permission.
Your All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor here for York Automotive. Looking for an All-Pro deal on your next car, truck, or SUV? York is my #1 pick. With over 600 vehicles in stock, York has the largest selection to meet your needs. We're talking new, pre-owned, and commercial vehicles. Take it from one All-Pro to another, York has your best deal.
Shop online at yorkautomotive.com and we'll show you why we're not #1, you are.
We're not #1. You are.
You're #1 at York. We're the Browns, and this is our account. Our relationship with Riddell really began when we were kids, so when we started our business, it seemed like a natural fit for us.
Riddell's provided all of our financial needs for both personal and business, and we could not be happier with the level of service that we're provided.
Riddell National Bank has helped us grow our business so that we can help grow our communities with the core values that we both share. If you're looking to grow your business, Riddell is your best option.
You're watching College Sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
Well, welcome back here, Troy. We got some music playing. That was kind of cool.
Threw me off a little bit.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that.
We're here at Rose-Hulman, where Rose-Hulman leads Greenville 2-0 at halftime. A great first half for the Fighting Engineers. We do want to thank our sponsors. We got our Indiana Army National Guard merch on, so we want to thank them for the shirts. Appreciate their sponsorship. Culver's.
Yep.
I don't know if I should mention their Butterburgers again or their crinkle fries, maybe their custard.
They're going to hire you after tonight.
You know what? A little bit of extra money, that'll
From Wisconsin with love.
Cheese curds.
Cheese curds.
That's what's important. Farm Bureau Insurance, Micah Bonomo. Great Dane, Hamilton Center, Lynn's Pharmacy, Riddell National Bank, and York Automotive, who provides transportation for Indiana Sports Network. York Automotive has 5 locations in Brazil, Greencastle, Crawfordsville, and Plainfield. And camera operators for tonight's game are Kanan Harper, Amy Metcalf, and Noah Gastineau. So we
It's a fun
appreciate
name.
that. Is a fun name. I like to say that. So we appreciate all their help. So with the first half here, Troy, we're kind of winding down. We got about 5 minutes left before they take the field for their second half. One of the things with Rose-Hulman and their play, we talked about kind of briefly, I mentioned it, but the defense on Rose-Hulman, they were really good, very solid. But you saw Fodor a couple of times, and then you saw Kylan McKee several times here on this right wing, right back position. They would bring the ball up about, mid-play, midfield, and then just hit the ball over. Just play it direct to their forwards. A lot of the times they were playing, possession ball, just maintain possession. But, if that wasn't working or they tried that a couple of times, boom, right over the top. And they were just kind of trying to, keep Greenville on their feet. And it worked. That one goal that Clark got, that was direct ball over the top. So, Greenville, they had to keep guessing. And on that one, Clark beat him. So.
Yeah, you want to stay unpredictable, right? I mean, you don't want to do the same thing over and over. But you're right, whenever it seemed like Greenville was kind of getting set in their defense, every once in a while Rose is popping it over the top on them. And, it ends up working every now and then. You get a cheapie. So take what you can get.
Yeah, a great job by Rose. It was really interesting just to watch their play and their build-up. A lot of the times they kind of, tried to build it up the corners, but they played direct a lot. They went right through the middle. They didn't always hit over to the corners, but several times they did. Then they tried to just kind of work it back, hit the cross. And a couple of times they had some good opportunities, from those chances. And the goalkeeper for Greenville, stood up tall, stood up big a couple of times, made some good saves there. But
she comes out a lot more than I've seen a lot of keepers. Spends a lot of time at the top of the box.
Yeah, both goalkeepers for both teams tonight spending a lot of time, as you mentioned, kind of top of 18 or even beyond, depending on where their team is offensively. They're really not afraid to sit up high. But as you mentioned too, man, Greenville's keeper, she was out a lot, and not just when their offense was out. Whenever Rose-Hulman was coming at her, she wasn't afraid to step early and step often, and so it worked out a couple of times. And I would say there.
The Clark goal,
right. It didn't quite work for them.
No. But I would also like to mention that the Rose men have already won today. They defeated Wabash, I believe it was, 1-0 to move to 2-0 on the season. Of course, their game this past Sunday was postponed for the thunderstorms that never came. And looking forward to seeing them later on in the season, but a great start for the other coach, Hellawell.
Yeah, the Rose-Hulman men are always a fun team to watch as well, usually very speedy. Very, very quick with the ball, and they're just a good team to watch. And both Coach Hellawell's excellent job, very well-disciplined teams. Can't say it enough about both coaches. A lot of respect for them. They've done great things here at Rose-Hulman for this soccer program, and as a result of that, we see this beautiful turf field that's out here. And again, we always mention that. Got the wood chips in it. I like to talk about that. It keeps it a little bit cooler. We don't want to burn up out here. You get those wood chips, and also, I don't think the wood chips maybe get in your shoes and socks as much as the little rubber pellets.
Seems like it'd be pretty painful if they did.
I think you might have to pull a splinter or two out of my feet.
I don't want to do that from a soccer match. I don't want to touch your feet either. We've gotten off track a little bit. Anyway, the Rose men are going to be awesome this year. They are picked first in the HCAC. Takizo Kelly came back. He's just unbelievable to watch. And Caleb Urban, I know he's one of your guys.
I love to watch Urban play on the wing. He does, man, he runs box to box, and he just is so fast. He's stout, and man, oh man, he is speedy. It's unbelievable to watch him play. I can't get enough of watching Urban play.
Yeah, they're fun just across the board, and as you said, a lot of speed this year. It's going to be an exciting year for the men engineers, but as for the women, they're looking pretty good to get their first win of the season tonight, and we're closing in on the second half.
Yeah, and Rose-Hulman, too, one of the great things, we kind of mentioned earlier, a lot of substitutions for Rose-Hulman, so they're able to kind of rotate players in and out. But Caroline House, I wanted to mention her. She did a great job in that first half as well. Really stepped up defensively in the midfield. She was in as a midfielder, but man, oh man, every time Greenville came in, she just was able to stand them up, and she got a foot in. She contained, but she wasn't afraid to go for the ball, and she did, and she won it nearly every time. So very impressed with her play coming off the bench tonight. Great job.
And when you watch Rose, they don't take breaks. They're all over you. You remember the old 40 minutes of hell defense in college basketball, and it reminds me of that. They're just all over you all the time.
Yeah, very quick to the ball. They close down quickly. They don't allow any space, so great job, Rose-Hulman. And here we get set the second half, where Rose-Hulman leads Greenville 2-0. And Rose-Hulman with the ball here in the second half. Number 22, Camaro Sulak on this near side.
Looks like the same starting 11 for the Panthers.
See Greenville, they're just shoving Sulak out of the way. Goes in for the ball. Not sure if they called a foul or just no, it's just a throw in here for Greenville. Troy, there are, I would say, millions of people watching around the world.
Absolutely.
And some of them like to send messages, while we're commentating and ask some questions. And, my wife sent one.
Is she one of the millions?
Yeah, she's one of the millions.
That's nice of her.
She was acting like I might have had something I needed to wipe off, but I didn't see that.
You got a bat in the cave.
So that's what she told me. And then nine platforms. So Indiana Sports Network is on 9 platforms. They are watched around the world. I will say last season we were watching and or not watching, commentating, and Neil Brown, a former classmate of mine, he was watching from Africa, where he was working. So he was sending some messages and love from Africa. So really cool to get some messages from those people. Someone else asked a message, and they were inquiring more about my handlebar mustache that I might have had at one point. So
there needs to be a rebirth.
Yeah, I think maybe if I just grow it again, I won't have to explain anything. I'll just say, hey, look, here it is.
It's a talking point, and when you take it away, people are going to have questions.
And Rose-Hulman almost with a tricky one. That goalie there just absolutely destroyed that ball.
It's our first ball into the crowd this year. That's good.
That was exciting. With a great mustache comes great responsibility. That's all I will say.
I wouldn't know. I'll take your word for it.
Our AR on the sideline. He'd know all about it. Just made a great call. Be a throw in for Greenville.
He seems like a very responsible man.
Yeah. We're going to have a butter burger after this together, he and I.
Absolutely. You and him, you mean?
Nope, he and I.
Oh.
We're going to have crinkle fries. We're going to dip them in our custard and milkshakes. Some cheese curds for dessert.
I'd say I'll go to Sonic, but they're not sponsoring us tonight, so.
No, they're not.
They did last year.
You could stop off at the recruiting office, maybe join the Indiana National Guard.
I believe I'm too old.
Oh, are you?
So thanks for bringing that up.
Well, you look young, Troy.
Thank you. You're always there to pick me up,
That's what I've been told.
Anyway, there's a soccer match going on. Rose-Hulman leads 2-0, and not much has happened here in the first 4 minutes of play.
Foul against Fodor.
Now something has happened.
That's the curse of the commentator. Rose-Hulman, possession from the free kick. They got a lot of space, probably just going to take this one short. There you go.
Now, I will ask you, because you've played more soccer than I have and coached more and things like that. Do you prefer turf to grass?
Man, that's it depends on the grass,
okay,
how well kept
let's
the
say
field
the turf
is.
with rubber compared to grass first.
I would need more information on the grass field. There's a lot of different
in dirt.
Well, yes, thank you for that. There's a lot of different types of grasses. It depends on how short, how high.
What about a nice fescue?
I would prefer the grass myself if it's well watered. If you get a hard surface, then there's really no difference if it hasn't been watered. But you get some good irrigation. I prefer the softness of the grass, just more of a natural bounce. Sometimes on the turf, the way the ball spins, you might have an unnatural bounce, or it might come up funny with a certain spin, especially as goalkeepers. If the ball hits really hard on the turf in front, it can take kind of an odd skip, maybe do something funny with the spin. So I'm kind of a preference of natural grass myself, but I don't hate on turf. There's a time and place for it.
It looks fantastic.
It really does. The best thing about the turf, too, is you don't have to paint the lines.
True.
They're painted once, and you're good to go.
Notice more and more of the high school football fields around the state are going to turf. We were at Owen Valley a couple weeks ago, and they just had a new field put in last year, and it's absolutely awesome. I mean, it looks fantastic. Northview over in Brazil, now turf.
Yeah, a lot of the high schools are putting turf in. A lot of universities and colleges, like Rose-Hulman here, putting turf in. So it's just, I think when you're looking at cost effectiveness, if you don't have to water a field, you're probably better off. Offsides call there against number 3 Laura Marquardt for the Rose-Hulman offense.
It's the third offsides tonight on Rose. By the way, the shortest player of the evening award.
Oh, yeah?
Because that's a thing. Goes to Nina Tarvisco. She's 5 foot from Peru.
And that's brought to you by Culver's. And Greenville with the kick. Rose-Hulman maintaining possession. Great turn there by Alicia Rodriguez.
They have left
Rose-Hulman looking dangerous. Marquardt trying to add a second goal to the year. Ball all the way through. Number 11 almost hit the far post. Excuse me, that was Ella Johnson. Man, I wanted to throw another good golly. We got a goal in there, but it didn't happen.
It's close. They got Miller leaning pretty far, and boy, she wasn't going to catch up to it. But I was just going to say they've left her in so far, so we may be seeing her the rest of the night. Greenville's conference play starts a week from tonight against Webster, which is who took down the Lady Engineers to start the season.
Rose-Hulman lost to Webster 2-1 on their first game of the season. That was last Thursday, the 1st of September. Laura Marquardt opened the scoring in that game in the 24th. I don't know what number I said. That just
24th.
21st, I think. 24th minute. It was her first career goal, and she was assisted by Kyra Hicks, both of whom are on the field right now. Lane Lawrence led the Fighting Engineers with 4 shots in that game. Webster then rallied with a goal by Jordan Land in the 53rd minute and a score by Abby Poe in the 57th minute to earn the 2-1 victory over Rose-Hulman. So a very tough team there in Webster, so you can see why Greenville maybe want to learn something here from Rose before they play them next week.
Rose also plays next Wednesday. Not conference play yet. Again, they have 4 more matches before the HCAC begins, but they stay in town next week. They travel over to play St. Mary of the Woods.
I've heard of that college.
I have too. From what I can gather, they're in the woods.
Kyra Hicks trying to run onto the ball.
Catch it, Tony.
And ball rolls right underneath us. Hicks with the turn. And ball headed down. Caroline House trying to make something happen. Greenville all the way through. 21 Grace Hobson just played it out. Fodor now. Good smart play. Number 3, Lauren Marquardt just steps in front. She felt the momentum from Greenville, just stepped in front of it. Able to get the foul. Win Rose the ball.
Kind of a hectic second half so far.
Got a flyover, some geese coming over the field right now. Brought to you by the Indiana National Guard.
See, that makes sense. You're good at this.
Well, you know, I try. Rose trying to make something happen on that far side. Oh, great ball played in. 22. Brianna Camaro-Sulak trying to get her head on it. Skips out for a corner kick. Look how tall Hicks is in there. She's just ready to get her head on this one, knock it in. Number 20, Carolina Snyder-Perez, going to take this corner while you kill a mosquito.
Just protecting you, man.
Nice ball in, over the top. Nobody there on the weak side to collect. Alicia Rodriguez tried to. Ball played back in. Greenville just trying to knock it out. Trying to make something happen. Marquardt plays it back. House back out wide to Marquardt. Hicks trying to make the turn. Plays it out to the corner. Rodriguez chasing it down. She's going to get there. Drops it back. McKee plays it in over the top of the keeper. It goes in for a goal. Hicks tried to get her head on it, unable to do so. I think the goal's going to McKee on that one. It just went all the way through, and McKee's cross ends up in the back of the net.
Let's hope our keeper's all right. She went down pretty hard. Addison Miller. There, she's up and at him.
Yeah, Hicks coming in there hard. The goalie and Hicks just collide, and nothing the keeper could do there.
No. She's had a rough night in there. She like to see her stay home a little more, but on that one, like I said, not much you can do.
Not sure on the stats if that goal was given to McKee or not. I believe it probably was, but we'll check on that.
Last year, Rose defeated Greenville 3-0.
And this season, Rose-Hulman's leading Greenville 3-0.
Yeah, I can connect the dots too.
Did you?
So
I like that.
I am.
You think Greenville will hold them off for 30 more minutes?
I don't know. I mean, that's why we watch the game, man.
Are you getting a little contrary?
I tend to be wrong a lot when I predict things, so we're just not going to do that.
Great settle there by Ella Johnson. Looking to make something happen. I think it's going to be another corner kick here for Rose. Corner played in. All the way over again. Greenville trying to make something happen. And very smart play there. Grace Hobson just comes up, knocks the ball down in the corner. Rose-Hulman able to retreat, set up defensively. Greenville trying to keep possession. Great job. Marquardt able to win possession back. Rose now just resets, plays it all the way to the back. McKee to House, back to McKee. And switch of play.
See, I think something we need to introduce whenever Rose scores a goal here at home. You know, some places have the cannons or something like that, a bell, you know. I think we need to get an elephant out here and just, I don't know what it's called when an elephant makes his noises, but it's called a trumpet, I've been informed, or trumpeting, I've heard of that.
Man, our producer and director, Tony Harper,
he will save your butt when you're stuck in a hole.
That's why he's the producer and director.
He's finished many a sentence for me.
He knows the hard answers. A trumpeting elephant. I think you're onto something.
I think it'd be fantastic. Just have him parked over here by the woods, and I don't know how you get him to do that on command.
I don't know if you're aware, but the turf field that has wood chips in it.
Yeah,
I've talked about it once or twice. Yeah, it was made possible because of an anonymous donor. Now, I think if you can get a hold of that anonymous donor, they could probably hook you up with an elephant that trumpets.
Well, I think they all trumpet, right?
I don't know.
We need to stop. It's too much elephant talk when we're not very well informed.
Yeah, I'm not an expert on pachyderms. I do know that.
Wow.
Yeah, how about that one?
I don't know what that means.
Greenville in possession.
Really professional, though.
Thank you. Rose-Hulman, Rodriguez driving the ball up the line.
Is that like a stuffed elephant? That's taxiderm.
Yeah, that's taxiderm.
Not pachyderm.
Pachyderm is the, I believe, like probably the genus or something. I don't know. It's the type of animal. Greenville in possession, trying to make something happen. Chip away at this lead. Rose-Hulman. Hicks trying to turn Greenville a little more physical there on defense. Just knocks her off the ball, wins it back. House. Playing the ball out. Could be a throw for Greenville. Hicks heads it to herself. Tried to find number 22, Camaro Sulak. You heard of this thing called Google?
The Google machine.
Yeah, the Google machine. I looked up pachyderm for you.
Oh.
And it describes it as a very large mammal with thick skin, especially an elephant, rhinoceros, or hippopotamus. So,
well, I guess I learned something this evening.
Yeah, also pigs and tapirs. So,
those black and white things.
Yeah. There you go. The more you know.
Yeah. So it can't be that hard to house an elephant, I wouldn't think. We could build a shelter.
I'm not even
down
going to
there.
respond to that.
What do they? I mean, they eat peanuts. So,
yeah, I think after the next goal, just to practice or see if it would be well received, you can do your best elephant trumpet, and we'll see how it works.
I'm not
and
sure
we might have a chance right
your
here.
Your wife and our listeners are going to enjoy that.
There we go. Camaro Sulak going to give you that chance. Unfortunately.
I'm not usually an Addison Miller fan, but I was really pulling for her right there. She did a fine job.
Hicks with the pressure. Hicks again. Wins the ball back. Unable to keep it. Do you like what I did with my voice there?
A nice way to say back. I like that.
Yeah.
It's animated.
I might steal that trumpeting job.
We could house you down here with the elephant.
throw in here for Rose-Hulman. Oh, that was a handball, not called. Maybe I missed it.
More than likely.
Thank you. Greenville building play up from the back. Rose-Hulman with the pressure.
They just hasn't stopped all night. I mean, Greenville hasn't been able to sniff their goal in the second half.
Yeah, and that's, that's frustrating for Greenville probably. You come out here in the second half and Rose-Hulman, they're not letting up. And Greenville, first time they've really been in the attacking third this half, just goes out for a goal kick. Some substitutions coming on for both teams. Rose-Hulman, Camille Clark, the goal scorer, coming back on. Lane Lawrence returning as well. And it looks like number 17, Stacia Brooks, coming on for the Engineers. Good run of play there for Kyra Hicks, Caroline House, and Brianna Camaro-Sulak. So great job by those ladies tonight.
Couple subs for Greenville as well. Sophie Laughlin back in, and Kellen Price. They are in for Emma Cadwell and Vanessa Ramirez.
Rose-Hulman with a couple of their starters. A lot of offensive firepower back in. Winning the ball back. Marquardt. Greenville takes possession, but Rose-Hulman right there. Greenville again wins it back. Fodor. All the way
Look
back
out.
to the goalie. Yeah. Greenville sent a player in. Pressing Dillon. Just had to knock it out. Greenville with the throw. Ball headed down. Rodriguez. Going to try to find Lawrence down the line. Going to go out. Rose-Hulman throw. And as the evening is getting a little more pronounced here at Rose-Hulman, the sun's setting off to our west. The moon is shining here above the trees. Really pretty cool sight.
Picturesque evening
I would say.
in Terre Haute.
Here the geese. They're honking.
They are honking.
Yeah, they don't trumpet.
They fly in gaggles, I believe.
Oh, good job.
Gaggle of geese.
Rose-Hulman trying to make something happen. Didn't work. A little counterattack here for Greenville. This is where it's frustrating for Greenville. They have that counterattack, and Rose-Hulman's got 4 back. So, I mean, nothing happening. Able to just knock it out. What do you call a group of elephants?
Trouble.
That's like that was kind of a dad joke.
I am a dad, so
well,
I'm allowed to make those.
We'll have to look up that Google machine again. And all the way back to the Greenville keeper. Well, unfortunately, a group of elephants is called a herd. It's nothing exciting. It's just really not even worth saying. But
no.
Since we asked, someone might want to know.
I think everybody but us might have known that.
They may have. Great job there, Greenville. Just a little pullback, keeps possession. And Stacia Brooks wins it back for Rose-Hulman. Plays it to McKee, to Rodriguez. Down the line for Clark. One of the goal scorers. And Greenville able to win it back. one of the things Greenville hasn't been able to really attempt is any direct play against Rose-Hulman. They haven't been able to try anything over the top because by the time they win the ball back, Rose-Hulman just closes down space so well they can't do that. They don't have the opportunities, and Rose-Hulman's playing so compact as well. It just doesn't make it very realistic.
Yeah, it's going to take something special for Greenville to get one goal, let alone three here in 20 minutes remaining in the second half of play. And Rose has pretty much controlled this one from the get-go tonight. They've came out with a lot of intensity at the start and were able to break through a couple times in the first half. And so far in the second, kind of a good possession half for them, just, playing keep away to a certain extent.
Yeah, and shot-wise, I mean, it doesn't look as lopsided. You look there, it's 7 shots for Rose-Hulman and 4 for Greenville. But honestly, this second half, there's been really no offense for Greenville. The first half, they had a couple of, little 5-minute segments where they looked pretty good and had some opportunities, and they made Dillon work there, at one point. But second half's a different story, and Greenville now, they do have an opportunity with this set piece. Probably 30 yards away. Oh, it's further away than that. The official moving it back. Now we're talking 40 yards. It's going to be difficult here. Just going to kind of play it over the top end, kind of like a corner, and try to catch a player running in. And easy header out for Rose-Hulman. Clark now.
Subs for Greenville coming in. Alexis Roberts back in the game, as well as number 16, Vanessa Ramirez.
And for Rose-Hulman, you've got number 18, Sarah Shoemaker, the grad student captain, coming back in, as well as number 28, Jaden Gibson. And that was number 20, Carolina Snyder-Perez, knocking the ball out. One thing about Carolina Snyder-Perez that I find very interesting on their majors here, obviously they're all engineering majors, that makes sense,
yeah.
But, a lot of chemical, mechanical, biomedical. She is the only one listed as an optical engineer.
Like eyeballs?
I mean, I'm going along that line. Optical, I'm not real sure. We might have to ask Google that one as well, but that's really kind of cool. Lane Lawrence trying to run onto it over the top, and it goes wide. You like it when I do that with my voice, don't you?
I love
It's fun.
I never know where it's going to end up at.
Yeah, I'm going to just start doing that in my normal conversations with people. Alex Adams in for Rose-Hulman.
Optical engineer.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, neither do I.
Now, we've had a bit of a complaint about my glasses reflecting oddly when we're on camera. And this is the second game I've worn these to broadcast, and it did that at the first one too. So I'm not sure how to fix this problem. Should I go to the optical engineer?
I think we
see
have
if she
an
has any
answer.
suggestions.
Maybe she's got a project she needs to complete.
Here are my glasses. Make them not shine on camera.
I don't know if this Google answer is correct, so I can't confirm it.
Why would Google ever be wrong?
But it says optical engineers use lasers, lenses, spectrometers, and other light manipulating systems to design equipment for manufacturing, medicine, communications, and space exploration. So that's pretty cool.
Just the explanation, I think I'd have to go to school to understand.
That's a lot.
It is. Space exploration.
That's really cool.
You've given me things to think about tonight.
That's what we do best.
Yes. I would like to say hello to my mother and sister. They are watching this evening. And they shot me a text a few minutes ago, and I think they're feeling left out because you talked about your wife. So, hello to Denise and Valerie.
I know both of them well. Great ladies. So hello to them.
Great?
Yes, they're great.
All right.
Even if you disagree with them at, the Indy 500 or elsewhere, they're still great. Rose-Hulman trying to win possession back. Yeah, a little handball there. Just a smile and a turn away. She knew it was an accident, but it certainly happened. Greenville. Man, I'm not sure that I think the placement of the ball, the official knocked it way back. I think it was up quite a ways, but hey. Greenville just playing over the top. Trying to find something, making the run. Excellent defense there by Rose, just containing Greenville in the box now. Plays it out. Knocked in, just played off the chest. Dillon.
That's safe.
Able to collect. Excellent reflexes there by Dillon just to come out and pounce when she needed to.
You feel pretty safe with her back there. She's very reliable.
And the punt over the top. Clark and then Lawrence. And Alex Adams hits it up. Gibson unable to chase it down.
I don't have the majors of the Greenville team, so I just have the hometowns and high schools, but nothing that piques my interest. So back to you, Dustin.
Rose-Hulman, a foul there against Greenville. Lane Lawrence goes down hard, but gets up really quickly. I'm going to set up here, dangerous position, maybe 25 yards out for Rose-Hulman, but it looks like the officials maybe going to pull that ball back. Going to be closer to 30. Got some Greenville players really trying to get that wall to move quite a ways. Pulls that line all the way up. McKee takes the free kick, and it goes all the way over.
Emma Cadwell back into the game for the Panthers.
I would say a pseudo-assistant coach for him there, too,
Yeah,
on the
she
set
was,
piece.
giving
man.
them the old what for.
She was really commanding the field.
She's a junior out of O'Fallon, Missouri.
Ooh, Greenville player just slipped and fell. Rose-Hulman possession. Shoemaker up that right side, trying to find Clark. Goalkeeper quickly plays out of the back, trying to find the counterattack. Here's an opportunity to play over the top, unable to do so. Foul against Rose-Hulman. That was Hobson with the foul. Kind of fair play. I didn't see a lot in that.
Back to our never-ending turf saga. I've never had experience on wet turf. Is that any different than wet grass, or is it a little better?
Yeah, it's certainly different. A little more slick. It depends to see a lot of times there are actually specialized turf cleats that you can buy that don't have as large of studs, just designed a little bit different. They have some like circular shapes that are more grippy in them. So depending on, whether you're playing on turf all the time or not, you probably don't have specific turf cleats. So if you're playing with regular cleats and it starts to get a little bit wet, it may maybe a little bit more slick, but probably not too different. It would be no different than, hitting some mud on grass.
It's a lot of the advantages with turf. I mean, it's not going to break down in the weather, obviously. I think you mentioned one earlier where there's basically no maintenance, at least as far as I know. You know, as far as it goes watering grass this time of year, you're going to spend a lot of money on that. So,
yeah, and you see signs. There's one over at the far side of the field that just says, you know, basically respect our turf, and a set of rules on how to, you know, respect it and what will help maintain it over the, you know, the course of its time. And, you know, drainage is a big one. If you've got a nice level turf field and there's drainage built in, you don't have the puddles and flooding that you might have on a regular grass field, so it's an advantage that you could have. You don't have to pay somebody to cut it. You don't have to mow it.
Wonder how much it is when I get turf installed at home.
Yeah, good luck.
Thanks.
I don't know what the cost would be. Maybe you have impressed an anonymous donor so much that they are willing to install turf for you.
There's donors out there somewhere, and I will find them.
Good luck.
After the elephant, they're coming to Shelburne to give me a turf price. And
I had ball through there. Shoemaker on the run. Clark steps in. Goalie steps up big. My oh my, it looked like Rose was going to get their fourth there. Unable to make it happen. McKee does a great job just keeping that ball in. All the way down the line.
Boy, Miller she charges at everything when it's at the top of the box, and, I mean, she leaves them vulnerable. That's the only problem. I mean, she's diving to stop that one, but on the rebound, then...
Good long shot. Just missed far post. Yeah, a really great job there by Shoemaker and Clark both. You know, Shoemaker heads up play, just kind of ran onto it. And, you know, goalie, like you said, came out very aggressive, kind of disrupted things a little bit. So didn't go for the cheeky chip over the top. She just tried to play the shot, and then Clark as well. Kiana Martin back on for the Engineers. She was one of the goal scorers in the first half. Gibson with the ball. Crosses it. Several Rose players there, unable to get their shoe on the end of it.
Kira Coleman and Italy Valenzuela back in the game for the Panthers. That's Italy with a D.
And just a little over 8 minutes left here in the second half. Rose-Hulman still leading 3-0. Greenville trying to cross the ball. Winning possession back. Lane Lawrence, great job pressuring there. Almost won it back. Greenville with the turn, trying to make something happen here late. Yeah, it just goes out for a goal kick. Number 16, Katie Choi on for the Fighting Engineers. Lane Lawrence comes off. Good game for Lane Lawrence. Fodor plays the ball up out of the back. There's Clark. Greenville just takes the ball away. Clark fights back. Martin. McKee. All the way over the top now. Katie Choi trying to make an impact quickly after coming on.
I have to say Rose has a definitive game plan coming into the night, and with Greenville it's a little hard to put together what they were going to try to do.
Great cross there by McKee. Yeah, and that's one of the things, you know, we kind of talked about. I don't know how long the coach has been at Greenville, but, you know, Coach Hellowell at Rose-Hulman for 14 years. She's established a culture that they have here. The ladies know how they're going to play, how they're supposed to play. It's established early on, and so they go out there and they accomplish that. You know, we talked about the spacing before the game, and then that's what happened. You know, if you've watched Coach Amy's teams in the past, you really see that they're just, like I've said several times tonight, very well disciplined, and they keep that spacing kind of front to back the whole way. So really well organized.
Coach Jeff Wardlaw, he's been at Greenville for 11 years. This is his 11th season, I should say, but they do have a lot of freshmen, so maybe that plays a part in it. You know, they're still learning the system and still getting used to, I mean, they just began college, for goodness sakes. So.
Absolutely, and that's a big part of it, you know, getting the ladies accustomed to college life. And then, too, you know, it's early September, so classes have just started. You know, they may have been practicing for a while before classes started, but then, you know, the workload with college,
all of a sudden you're leaving states and, you know, a lot of unfamiliarity. I tried to get that out right.
Yeah.
And, oh, we've got one down.
Yeah, play going to stop here. Yeah, it looks like we'll probably take an injury timeout.
If somebody's kind of on the fence of going into a recruiting office or just reaching out to a recruiter, I would absolutely encourage it, if anything, just for the information.
We have a lot of enlistment bonuses out there right now, upwards to about $20,000. If you're in college or you plan to be to college, this is a great choice for you, because our organization, we look for students who want to go to college. We also have educational benefits where we pay up to 100% of tuition.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
At Great Dane, we are proud to invest in our people and the communities we call home. We are hiring now for trailer assemblers and welders across the country. We need the makers, people who are ready to make a difference. We need you. Build something bigger for yourself and your family with great health benefits, advancement opportunities, 401k, pension, and more. Apply today at greatdane.com/careers.
You are watching Rose-Hulman Women's Soccer on the Indiana Sports Network.
You're watching College Sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
And as this game winds down here with just about 5 minutes remaining, we would like to thank our sponsors of today's game. Our presenting sponsor is the Indiana Army National Guard. Also, we've got Greenville trying to get a goal over the top. They do very quickly. Right after that timeout, just a direct ball over the top of Dillon.
I think that was De Leon.
Believe it was. Not quite. Yeah, Rose just wasn't quite ready. Wasn't quite prepared. They, you know, coming off the injury, Greenville just ruthless, straight to it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's about the only way they're going to score tonight is just catch Rose off guard. They haven't been able to do that all evening until now. Allison Schultz back in the game for the Panthers. That was Kira Coleman that went down. She did get up and walked off a little gingerly, but she seems to be okay.
I would just say very good sportsmanship by the Greenville coach. He came over and apologized to Coach Amy for that goal. Just kind of one of those that you typically don't see somebody take a shot coming back off of the drop ball from an injury. So good sportsmanship, good to see that. As I was talking, going through the sponsors, Culver's as well, Farm Bureau Insurance, Micah Bonomo, Great Dane Trailers, Hamilton Center, Lynn's Pharmacy, Riddell National Bank, and York Automotive. Transportation for Indiana Sports Network is provided by York Automotive with 5 locations in Brazil, Greencastle, Crawfordsville, and Plainfield. And Rose trying to make something happen there. Camera operators for tonight's game, Kanan Harper, Amy Metcalf, and Noah Gastineau. Video technician Keith Lawson. And the producer and director is Tony Harper. You missed one of these mosquitoes up here.
I've missed several. I've collected 2 so far.
So Martin, great play there in the midfield. Ball played way over the top. Clark trying to chase it down.
Feel like Rose would be pretty happy with the showing this evening.
Yeah, did a great job offensively for Rose. A little bit different than their first 2 games that they had. You know, the first one really back and forth, and then that last one against center. A lot of defense. So good for them to be out on front offensively as they prepare for HCAC play.
So get the monkey off your back a little bit with first win of the year. Like I said, they're in action, I believe it's a week from tonight. St. Mary of the Woods here in Terre Haute. Up on the, get my directions straight, northwest side of Terre Haute, instead of Indianapolis. Let's try Terre Haute.
Get your cities right.
So here on the Indiana Sports Network,
Rose-Hulman with the throw.
We've got a few games coming up soon. We will be covering the Rose-Hulman football game Saturday at 7 o'clock, hosting Trine. That's their first home game of the year. Come out and check out the new digital scoreboard. It's supposed to be something over there. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, sounds cool.
Before that, though, Friday night, high school football, North versus South here in Terre Haute. And then the following Friday, we'll have Northview at Owen Valley down in Spencer, Indiana, and that one is a 7:30 start. That should be a good one. Both of those teams undefeated so far. Very impressive offenses on both ends. Looking forward to that.
WIC play. Ball over the top there. Rose trying to collect. Just a little over 1 minute left here in the game.
What are your takeaways from tonight for Rose?
I think they've done a great job. They've played a lot of players, so that's good. You're able to rotate in some players, and so I think early on in the season especially, you're trying to establish roles. So, you know, she probably, you know, I would say you're starting 11. You've probably got 8, 9, maybe 10 of them that are solid. You know you're going to go with them most of the season. You got to find those role players. You got to see, you know, too, who's going to challenge for those starting spots. Injuries happen, unfortunately, so you got to be prepared if someone goes down, who's going to step into that role. So to be able to rotate in players the way Coach Hellowell has tonight, I mean, she's probably pushing 20 players that have gotten some game time. It's really, really helpful just to know kind of what you've got, who can step in when you need them to, especially going into conference play. Overall, offensively, I mean, I think she has that system of play that she goes with, so it's just about everyone getting on the same page and executing the way that Coach Hellowell wants to. And time runs out here at Rose-Hulman, where the Fighting Engineers defeat the Greenville Panthers by a score of 3-1. We will take a break and come back with some final thoughts, and I'm sure some very wonderful words of wisdom.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
At Great Dane, we are proud to invest in our people and the communities we call home. We are hiring now for trailer assemblers and welders across the country. We need the makers, people who are ready to make a difference. We need you. Build something bigger for yourself and your family with great health benefits, advancement opportunities, 401k, pension, and more. Apply today at greatdane.com/careers.
If somebody's kind of on the fence of going into a recruiting office or just reaching out to a recruiter, I would absolutely encourage it, if anything, just for the information.
We have a lot of enlistment bonuses out there right now, upwards to about $20,000. If you're in college or you plan to be to college, this is a great choice for you because our organization, we look for students who want to go to college. We also have educational benefits where we pay up to 100% of tuition.
You're watching College Sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
Welcome back here to Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, where Rose-Hulman women's soccer team just defeated Greenville by a score of 3-1. An excellent game that we saw tonight. So one cool thing, as they were kind of high-fiving, I saw Sarah Shoemaker, the grad assistant, her and one of the assistant coaches for Rose were kind of talking and going through some things, and that's just something I like to see. You know, from a coaching standpoint, she's got a lot of opportunities. She's a grad student, so maybe, you know, at some point, coaching herself, you know. Obviously, she's going to be an engineer here, but, you know, wherever she's at in her community, where she's at locally to help, you know, pass the game along, I think she's doing the right stuff, talking to the coaches, learning as much as she can and able to pass that on in the future. So that's just a really cool moment. Wanted to point that out. And then you see both teams here around the circle tonight, holding hands. Looks like maybe pray together. So really neat moment as well for both teams, and just shows what, you know, sport can do and what life's about more than just soccer sometimes. So
it's enough words of wisdom for me.
Yeah, you know,
you meant that when you said it. Jeez.
I wasn't even going in with words of wisdom, but you know, you look up and you see something, and I think that's, you know, that's what our job is.
That was
neat.
Point
those things out. So.
Same thing. I got into coaching this year for the first time with my son, and you know, I'm certainly not the most apt soccer coach out there, but hey, we're having fun so far, and we hope to win some games. And you know, it's trying to give back a little bit, and something we all enjoy, so it's fun to be a part of.
And I like you say that, having fun, that's a big important part of soccer at all levels. You know, if you're not having fun, then it's people aren't going to play. So it's important for especially early on youth to have fun while they're playing and make sure that, you know, they're enjoying it. So we do appreciate that. The Rose-Hulman women tonight, just excellent job. So we'd like to, you know, shout out to the goal scorers, Camille Clark, great job, Kiana Martin. And then I believe Kyla McKee got the last one. Not real sure. It was kind of congested in there when that ball went over the top, but it sure looked like she got that one. So just all in all, great play by Rose. We talked about it all night. Well disciplined. They stay very well organized. You know, they're certainly allowed to make some overlaps and do those runs, but they just stay where they need to be most of the time. You talked about their defense closing down space really well. They didn't allow Greenville much time to do anything. So just very impressive overall by Rose-Hulman.
Yeah, they controlled it from start to finish. I mean, no doubt about it. And just absolute clamps down on defense. I mean, Greenville didn't have maybe a couple good looks. One I can think of in the first half, but second half goal was kind of a cheapie. I mean, but yeah, a lot to build on. A great start to the home season. You know, 1-0 at home. And 1-2 on the year. Feels great to get that first win, and we'll see how they can improve. Again, 4 more matches before the HCAC starts, and they're going to be looking to just get as solid as they can be before the Heartland Conference fires off. So.
All right. Did you have some information when the next Rose-Hulman soccer game is here that you're covering? Or
no, I
think we find that information out. Yeah,
calling me out. I wasn't ready.
Well,
for that.
I wasn't just calling you out.
It's going to take me a minute to find.
They might want to know that. That's the football schedule. We'll find it at some point. So, hey, you know, check out Indiana Sports Network. They're on 9 platforms. So, you know, go to the platforms, look up the schedule. Lots of games to be had. You know, the 46 games here at Rose-Hulman this fall between all the sports. So, going to be a lot of coverage, and you mentioned the football game coming up, so
I'm going to the Google machine right now.
You're going to the Google machine?
Yeah.
You're going to find that before we leave?
I'm trying, but...
All right. Coach Hellowell, again, just a great job for her team. Always well organized. Fun to watch, and it's really fun, too. I've been commentating here for several years now. It's fun to watch some of these players as they've progressed through the program. I talked about, Shoemaker here at the end, talking to the coach and learning some things, and she's been one player who's just kind of impressed, over the seasons, taking on that leadership role. She's a captain now as a grad student, and just fantastic to watch and see. So I appreciate and like seeing that. Natalie Dillon in goal. She's a senior this year, and man, she had a great save, as you mentioned, in that first half, just really stretching. So kudos to all those players. Fun to watch.
Yep, absolutely. And I'm not sure if this is the next game we're covering here, but the next men's game here is this Saturday at 3:30. Rose-Hulman hosts North Central. And again, the men did win tonight at Wabash up in Crawfordsville. So they moved to 2-0 on the season. And Friday night we'll be on the air. North-South, I think, this Friday here in town. We go on the air at 7 o'clock. And then right here Saturday night for the first home game for the Fighting Engineer football teams as they host Trine.
All right. We'd like to thank our sponsors again of tonight's game, specifically our main sponsor, the Indiana Army National Guard. So thank you to them. And then also Culver's. We want to say thank you again for joining the team and for sponsoring as well. And, what is it, about 9 o'clock? It's time, I think.
You've been talking about it all night.
Yeah, it's time to go get a butter burger, maybe some cheese curds and a milkshake. So sounds like a good greasy dinner, so I can have heartburn in the morning, and we'll be good to go. So we appreciate you joining us here this evening at Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology. We are the Indiana Sports Network. I'm Dustin Jorgensen. This is Troy Wilsine, and thank you for joining us.
You are watching Rose-Hulman Women's Soccer on the Indiana Sports Network.
You're watching College Sports on the Indiana Sports Network, presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
This program is a copyrighted production of Indiana Sports Network and cannot be shown, reproduced, or redistributed in any way or in any form without prior written permission from Indiana Sports Network.
You're watching the Indiana Sports Network.